on this episode of The Commercial Break.
And then on Sunday, I was sitting around having lunch here with my dear family, me and the wife and the 2 kids. I forget what we were talking about, but then I get a text message and it pops through. It says, bing, this guy, right? And I'm like, oh, this guy, wonder what he's up to. It's Sunday morning. He's probably saying hello or, hey, how you doing? Or question about this or question about that. And I open it up and it's a picture of him and his wife, nude, in a sauna. I mean...
Happy Sunday,
Happy Sunday! And I was like, oh my gosh. Well, clearly, this is not meant for me, right? The next message that comes through is, hey, we'll meet you for lunch. So glad we get to meet you in person, right? And I was like... Or something along those lines. I forget. I'm saying verbatim. I don't know what the actual text message said. I deleted it. It's just to be nice to the people, right?
Yeah, you're like, this was not meant for me.
Yeah, it was not meant for me. It's not a picture that was meant for me. I'm not going to keep it on my phone. And so of course, so now I'm in this awkward position.
Right.
Do I tell Astrid or do I not tell Astrid what just came through, right? I've interrupted lunch with picking up the phone and looking at a text message and probably have this look on my face.
Surprise.
What? It's hot in here tonight. And I was like, yeah, it is. And he's
Take
like,
off all your clothes.
he goes, are you into any of this? And I'm like, no, not really. Meanwhile, I'm standing right next to some lady who's getting head from the dude, like kneeling down in the bar chair. Hey, man, how are things at the house? Yeah, good. I'm great.
The next episode of The Commercial Break starts now.
I do the dabba dooba. I feel like I'm getting ready to watch a 70s porn movie. Hey, Mrs. Crumpet, someone called me over and told me that the plumbing is not working in your apartment.
Yes, Billy, that's correct. My plumbing isn't working. Will you come over here and take a look?
Yeah, but I hope it's okay. I forgot my pants, and I have a raging hard-on.
That's okay, Billy. Just fix my plumbing.
Okay, Mrs. Crumpet. Wow. Do you always walk around with your left tit out?
Oops, was that sticking out?
Here, let me show you my shiny cock.
Oh, Billy, you're so naughty.
I'm just here to fix the plumbing.
That is how they
17 minutes later. Oh! I fixed your plumbing.
Oh, Billy.
I'm Bryan. This is Hoadley.
Happy New Year.
We like to start off shows with porn reenactments. If it's your first time listening, you'll be treated to that every single episode from now on.
Whee.
I'm going to reenact a different 70s porn movie. Welcome to the show. Got a lot to talk about. So let's get started.
Let's do it.
I had the most incredibly... It's kind of a weird thing that happened to me, and I'm not really sure what to make of it all.
What? Do tell.
Okay, so I've got a friend. I like him very much. He's a good guy, and I would consider us, chums. We're buddies. We talk all the time. We have fun, texting back and forth. But he lives across the country. He's not anywhere close to me. Mm-hmm. And he admitted to me a couple of, weeks back, and he admits it to everybody. It's not like a secret, right? That him and his wife are swingers. They're polyamorous. They do whatever you want to call it. They're out there in the world shaking
they're
and
open
moving.
for business.
Yeah, he's the plumber.
Right.
And she's Mrs. Crumpet.
Yes.
Yeah, to a lot of Billies out there, I guess. I don't know what goes on. I didn't ask for details.
Right.
But
did he kind of just slide it into a conversation?
Not even really. Like, he just kind of went out and admitted it. I mean, like, he wasn't even sliding into a conversation. He was like, me and my wife were swingers and blah, 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 blah. As if, the weather out here is great this time of year.
Right.
I get to sleep with a lot of women and I'm married. And I was like, oh, but it didn't really take me by surprise if I'm being, okay. Mrs. Crumpet. Didn't really surprise me if I'm being 100% honest about the situation.
Yeah.
It was like, it took me 2 seconds. Yep, that makes sense. Yep. That makes total sense. Yeah, I didn't even have to go to my computing machine. It just was like one of those things that you that made sense. Fit the motif, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And then on Sunday, I was sitting around having lunch here with my dear family, you know, me and the wife and the 2 kids. I don't forget what we were talking about. But then I get a text message and it pops through. It says, bing, you know, this guy, right? And I'm like, oh, this guy, wonder what he's up to. It's, you know, Sunday morning. He's probably saying hello or hey, how you doing? Or question about this or question about that. And I open it up and it's a picture of him and his wife nude in a sauna. I mean...
Happy Sunday,
Happy Sunday. And I was like, oh my gosh. Well, clearly this is not meant for me, right? The next message that comes through is, hey, you know, we'll meet you for lunch. So glad we get to meet you in person, right? And I was like, or something along those lines. I forget. I'm saying verbatim. I don't know what the actual text message said. I deleted it. It's just to be nice to the people, right?
Yeah, you're like, this was not meant for me.
No, it was not meant for me. It's not a picture that was meant for me. I'm not going to keep it on my phone. And so of course, so now I'm in this awkward position.
Right.
Do I tell Astrid or do I not tell Astrid what just came through, right? I've interrupted lunch with picking up the phone and looking at a text message and probably have this look on my face.
Surprise.
What? Right? Because, I mean, they're in some state of undress. Now, it's not some graphic photo. It's just like, it's literally them smiling naked, right? And I was like...
it's early Sunday.
Yeah, it's early Sunday. You're eating lunch with the kids. You're like, you know, watching Mickey Jr. or whatever. Wake up, wake up, wake up to your friend's big cock. Da, 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 da. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. And so now I'm in so now here comes the first marital... Like when you're married or you're in a relationship, you gauge the reaction before you even do certain things, right? You're like, okay, you know, like, do I tell her I went to the tanning bed or should I just let her figure out this raging sunburn? This raging sunburn meant I was out in the sun with no. And so I'm like, gosh, what do I do now? Do I tell her that I got this picture? Do I show her? And I instantaneously decide that honesty is the best policy.
Oh, yeah.
Like I do 99% of the time, right? I'm like, okay, honesty is the best policy.
Yes.
I need to just show her.
Oh, yeah, I would have shown
the
Jeff
text
immediately. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Look at this.
So that's what I did. I'm like, you will not believe this. Look at this. And she's like, oh my God, really? And she's like, does he think that we're swingers? And I'm like, no, I never said that. I never said those words.
Yeah.
I never said we weren't swingers. I just never said we were. I just felt like not answering the question was not addressing it was the best policy because why would I? Like, why? He never asked. I'm not going to tell, you know, if he asks, I'll say no. And that's it, you know? So I show her the picture. She's like, oh my God. So I go, clearly this was not meant for me. And she was like, I don't know about that. I don't know if that wasn't
like
meant
maybe
for
a
you.
little like test to gauge interest.
Yeah, you know how now. Listen, I honestly think this was meant for someone else. I do not think it was meant for me. But you know how when you're when you're a little bit younger, I don't know about you, but when I'm a little bit younger and I'm getting into relationships and I really don't know how to handle myself in a relationship when certain situations pop up.
Yeah.
The text message was always a good gauge. Like you'd send the fake wrong text message to somebody, you know, you'd be like, oh, I'll meet you there at 7, right?
Yes, that's right.
When they like if
you
someone
said that in another episode.
Yeah, someone won't go out with you and you know, just hey, you know, dating someone and then you text them, hey, you want to meet you up tonight over at the bar at 8 and then they're like, I can't. You know, can't.
Washing my hair.
Is you gonna give me an explanation? You just say can't?
Can't.
That leaves all kind of shit filled in my head. So then I'm walking around, pacing around with anxiety, like, why can't she? What does can't mean? How do I respond to this, right? Oh, great, have a good time, whatever it is you're doing. Then I sound passive-aggressive. So I'm going to send the passive-aggressive fake text message.
Right. So now you're going down a whole rabbit hole.
Yeah, now I'm going to go down a rabbit hole. Yeah.
Facetious text.
Yes. And so I remember one specific incident where this exact thing happened, right? I got anxious about what can't meant. And so I said, okay, no problem, another night. And there was no response for like 2 hours. So then I wrote the fake text message, I'll meet you there at 7, right? And then instantaneously she responds like, well, I thought we said, you know, I thought I told you I couldn't go out tonight. And I'm like, oh no, it was meant for another person.
Okay.
You know my friend Smooky Smook, you know, who I one time had a fling with, but you know, we're just friends.
We're just friends
It's
now.
just friends. So I'm writing this whole paragraph, you know, we're just friends now. She's really attractive, but you know, I'm not attracted to that type of girl.
Right.
I'm pretty sure she's still interested in me, but you know, but that, you know, 16 page long. Right. And then you send it. And then the response was like, okay, cool. Ah! Ah! I wanted you to get mad. But it didn't happen. Nothing happened.
So you think this was the text test?
This is the text. My wife thinks this is the text. I thought that this was just a regular text message that just missed the
wrong Bryan.
Wrong Bryan. Or maybe we were texting the day before and he kind of just hit it thinking it was, that same text message page. Yeah. Conversely, I used to date a woman who I was 99% sure that half of those, there was a missed text every 15 seconds. And I was like, come on. I know this game too well. I'm the king of mistexting.
I didn't play those games.
You never once mistexted somebody? Never once.
Well, I mean, on accident.
No, I'm talking about an accident.
No. Oh, you're talking about on accident.
On accident.
Yes, I have mistexted on accident.
Yeah.
But not to play the game.
No, I did it one
test.
time. I did it one time and I didn't get the response that I wanted. So it's just
it usually backfires.
Yeah, and I felt like an asshole. Then I'm like, oh my God, I'm so neurotic. Who cares? Who gives a fuck, Bryan? This girl doesn't give a shit about you. Okay, cool. Can't is not a response that someone that's into you gives, right? So just move on.
No, exactly.
I dated her for 5 years.
Okay.
TCBpodcast.com is where you go to read all the show notes, find out more about Chrissy and I. It's a brand new website. You can find our entire media library is there. All of our audio, all of our video, everything that you could possibly want commercial break related. Or you can check us out at The Commercial Break on Instagram. There's lots of content that we push out through there that we don't push out anywhere else. You can see clips. We do little funny bits. Astrid's always putting together a funny post or two. And additionally, you can check us out on Clubhouse.
Yes.
At TCB Chrissy, KRISSY, at Bryan Green, BRYANGREEN. And we are going to start doing live Clubhouse shows here maybe next week, as this is airing the following week. So if you want to be a part of that live show, you have to be inside a Clubhouse. We can get you an invite if you need it. Just DM us on our Instagram account. We'll get you an invite. We'll make you a member of the Commercial Break Club, and then you can come on in and have fun with us.
Yeah, and I think you should maybe explain Clubhouse a little bit, just so people kind of get an idea. Because otherwise, if you just get on, you kind of don't know how it works.
That's true. Yeah, and so Android is coming soon to Clubhouse. So let me explain what Clubhouse is. Clubhouse is an audio social media application.
It's like a chat room.
It's a chat room. It's exactly what it is, but it's a managed chat room. So instead of 10 people being in the same, like if you call it, you call a hotline, an online or a phone chat line, it's just like 10 people just talking over each other, right? Someone's talking. It's obnoxious. I was on one or two back in the 90s and I couldn't understand a fucking word anybody was saying.
Well, I had somebody ask me that. They were like, how do people not talk over each other? Because I was trying to explain it.
Imagine like a Zoom call, right? With just audio. All you can see is someone's profile picture. And then the moderator can control who comes up to stage and who talks. So there may be multiple people on stage at one time, but it is regarded as not cool to talk over other people. So the moderator, and there could be multiple moderators, are in control of the room. There's a bunch of people down in the audience. Depends on how big the room is. There can be tens of that, up to 10,000 people in a room. There can be as little as 3 people in a room. Sometimes those are the best rooms, the small ones, right? And so when you're in the audience, you raise your hand. It lets the moderator knows, it gets a notification on their app. They pull you up to the stage. Then
you can talk.
Then you can talk. Then you can open up your microphone and you can talk.
Yeah. Otherwise, you can just kind of observe and listen to everybody else talk. There's a room for everything.
Yeah.
Whiskey lovers.
Oh my God.
People that like
whatever. Sex rooms. I mean, they're all over the
everything.
place.
Yeah.
Right
comedy.
wing, left wing, comedy.
Ours is more comedy focused.
Yeah, we have a lot of comedy focus and a lot of podcasting focus. So the minutia of podcasting is a place where I've been spending a lot of time with other fellow podcasters that I enjoy spending time. Yeah, brainstorming.
Ideas.
What can we do with this, and how do we do that? And and so I moderate a lot of these rooms that are podcast focused and comedy focused. And so now we started the Comedy Podcast Club, which is in support of the comedy podcast category, the listeners and the creators of comedy podcasts. And additionally, we have the Commercial Break Room, which is specifically for us to go in and do live events. Those live events, more than likely, we're going to record and then put out as a podcast episode, even if it's a bonus one. So the whole idea is that Chrissy and I will be on stage as moderators. We may have guests, we may not. And then we hope to interact with people down in the audience. So we'll ask a question or play a game, and then we can bring you up and you can talk, and then possibly you'll be on the show. So if you want to get involved in that level, Clubhouse is a really cool app, and there are so many more idiosyncrasies about the app that I can't get into here. It's not going to make sense to you. You're going to just have to spend some time on the
play
app.
Around.
Yeah, learn it. But this would be a great place to do so. Come to the commercial break.
Yeah, it's still in its infancy stage, really.
Man. It's only a year and some change old, and there's only about 18 million people on the app. It's only for iPhone users right now. And
invite only.
And invite only. And so if you need an invite, let us know.
Yeah, I've got some invites to give out.
It's got a $1 billion valuation. And so that tells you how people feel about Clubhouse. It will be the next big social media app. And so if you want to get involved, let us know at The Commercial Break on Instagram. And we certainly appreciate all the people who have joined our Instagram lately. It's just humming along. It's like now we get like 4 or 5 new people a day.
Nice.
It's so exciting. We put the call out there and you answered. So I wanted to get back to swingers. So I thought this would be a good launching point for us to talk about this subject.
Okay.
What is your opinion on swinging?
Well, here's my opinion in general on whatever you want to do sexually. And that is, feel free to do it. You're not hurting anybody. Nothing illegal is going on, underage stuff and whatever. Like, do your thing. Do your thing. Don't try and force me to do it, but do your thing. So I totally respect it.
Is that something that you and Jeff would be into?
No,
you're not. You're not swingers. No
No.
I think polyamory is just like French for my marriage isn't working. Quite frankly.
Yeah, I need something new.
I agree with you.
But each to their own.
I'm
not judgmental.
Not at all. Mm-mm. And so, as I was doing research for the show, I went down this rabbit hole of swinger stuff. Right?
Research, quote unquote.
God, you would not believe. When I was in my 20s, I knew a guy through my former marriage and through my ex-wife. And this guy used to tell, and his dad was let's call him a notable human being, a very notable businessman in the business world. And so he was the junior, right? And he was pretty cool, and we were around the same age, and we would hang out often and party and all sorts of stuff. He would tell me stories. He had a fiance at the time, and his father had been married for many years. And every year they would go to Costa Rica for about 3 weeks to a month at a time. And he used to tell me about this place, Dr. Knight's, right? And I was like, I don't even know what the fuck never looked it up, never was much interested in it, except for the stories that he would tell, which started like this. We would go down there, we would be picked up at the airport by a limo, and then we would be shuttled off to a beach location where we would then be accompanied by 1, 2, or possibly 3 women for the entire week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks that we were there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They would pay for prostitutes to hang out with them, right? For escorts to hang out with them. And the whole resort is either you're someone that's buying escort services or you're an escort that's selling escort services.
Oh, okay.
The whole vacation, which you can buy packages for, included sex for the night with 1, 2, 3, 5 women, right? And until last night, I had never even done any research on this place because
you found it.
Well, first of all, the internet was, I wasn't really an internet guy back then.
Beep, beep, boop, 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 dial up.
Hello, it's me. The dial up was right. It was DSL.
I'm on the phone.
I'm getting 2K per hour over here. I've almost seen a tit. It's coming down. 5 more swirls, and I'm gonna have a nipple. So the guy would tell me this story, and I always thought this was amazing. It was amazing that this guy would so openly have a discussion. Now, his fiance was one of the women that he had met down there.
From Costa Rica. Okay.
He fell in love with her.
Yeah.
He fell in love with her.
Happens.
Supposedly she fell in love with him. Right. Who fucking knows, right? I never met the woman. So that got me thinking I should go check out this guy's Facebook page and see what he's up to many years later. I hadn't talked to him since I divorced my ex-wife.
Where are they now?
He got lost in the divorce, right? It's just one of those things that happens. Where are they now? He is married to the woman with children.
Okay.
Right?
It was
but
true love.
On his Facebook profile, you can see that not but 3 months ago, he was down in Costa Rica at this resort.
It's a family tradition.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, when you marry an escort, you get to keep on hanging out with escorts?
I guess so.
I suppose so.
Well, yeah,
And-
no, I've heard about these resorts too that are just strictly swinger resorts.
That's it.
You're not even paying. You're paying to go to the resort.
Isn't it sandal? No, not sandals.
It's not sandals, but there are ones.
Hedonism. Hedonism is one of them. Yeah, down in Jamaica.
I've read about these. Yeah.
and I've heard stories. Like, I mean, I listened to the Howard Stern show one time, and they sent one of their guys down there, right? And it was just like a total fuck fest. I mean, yeah. Nice until it's encapsulated for the world to listen to forever and ever. Amen. Yeah, when your future wife is like, you went where? And did what? You got a blowjob from 5 women and a guy at the pool at Hedonism? For me, it's not my thing. Like, I love Astrid very much. I just don't think that I could wrap my head around cheating on her, even if it was blessed.
Yes.
Even if she said, you know what?
Yes.
Go down to Costa Rica. Have yourself a good time.
I couldn't do it either.
Enjoy yourself. I feel like, first of all, it's a little creepy, right?
Yeah.
Second of all, I'm not sure how I could look a woman in the eye and just have sex with her after I paid her. Or not even pay her, just be like swingers. Like, I just don't think I could do it.
No,
That's not to say that I give a shit whether or not somebody does. I have friends who are swingers.
Yeah,
and
go for it.
Love them to death. Go for it. I'm ultimately fascinated by their life and how this all works out for them.
Yes,
Right?
it is
It's just like,
fascinating.
does it work out for you is the question. And I just think also that I wouldn't want that. I would never want to go to bed thinking that Astrid is out sleeping with some other guy.
Yeah.
And I'm just here hanging out with the kids. Yeah. No problem, honey.
Guess who?
Like, I'm in the closet. Cock holding. Oh my God. Did I tell you the time I went to a swingers party?
No. But that's funny.
There was this huge club in Atlanta that was like in the northern suburbs that no one went.
Since we've known each other? Or
No,
before?
this is right before not right before, but probably 6 years, 7 years. I was very young. I was 24.
Yeah. What did you do Saturday night?
Well, went to a swingers club. Went to a swingers party. There's this huge club in Pool Hall. So it had a pool hall, it had a small music venue, and then it had just this club, like a nightclub. Yeah. It was north of Atlanta. No one gave a shit. Mm-hmm. No one gave a shit about this place. So they would we would get to fill it with the bands that we liked, and, we get a small cut of the door, and it was a shitty little music venue. No one cared. No one ever came out. I think we had 80 people one time was like the highlight of the entire, like, our booking. We were like, we're music producers.
Right.
All 80 people are here. We gave 40 of them 40 tickets away, but those other 40 people, they paid. And you know what? The part that sucked about the 80 people that showed up, it was for a band that was like 33 Willie in their teens. They were like 16. So the 40 people were like aunts and uncles and other high school kids. We had to get special permission to let under 18. The bar had to be closed. It was like but we were so proud of ourselves. 80 people. Yes. We are on our way.
Sorry that didn't work out for you.
Yeah, it's a lot like the podcast. 80 people. Look at that. Hot damn. 80 people.
We're in the money.
We're in the money. So we got friendly with the guys that were running the club next door, which then no one gave a shit about that. He was a huge cavernous club with multiple rooms and, multiple DJ booths. And no one gave a shit. It was like, maybe 200 people would show up for the night, and the smoke machines and the bad neon lighting. It was very dark in there. They had like 2 or 3 bars, and that there was a lot of cocaine running through that place.
Sure.
But we became friends with the guys so we could get free cocaine. And then So one night, the guy comes over, and we're there. And he says, hey man, you got to come check out what's going on tonight. I think it was like a Thursday night or something, right? I thought, wow, Thursday night, what are you guys doing over there? And he's like, bro, you got to come check out this party.
You just got to.
He didn't even tell me, right? Mm-hmm. I walk in, and there is a hostess stand. Mm-hmm. Well, there'd never been a hostess stand at the club before. You just walk into the club, right? Yeah. And I'm like, wow. And there's a beautiful woman that's back there, like scantily clad. And she's like, hi, can I check anything for you? And I was like, no, I'm good. Like, what is it, a hotel? Could you check my suitcase and my little dog too? Didn't have any idea what was going about. And this guy just thinks it's funny, right? He's like, come on,
pants.
Man. Come on, right?
Here's my pants.
I had no idea. So you walk down this hallway, and then it opens up into the big room where there's like there's a big, dance floor with a DJ booth, and then the bar is in the background, right? This room must be 200 by 200. It's huge.
Yeah.
And there's all kind of like couches and,
There's like
weird
swings.
furniture.
I'm picturing swings.
Oh my God. The things that were going on in this place, my eyes were like singed. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I walk in and there's a couple of women on the dance floor that are, topless. And then I see at the bar, there's a couple of guys that are making out with one girl. And then I see that there is a guy going down on a woman in one of the bar chairs. Like, he's just like, he's got his head fully engrossed in her thigh.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is going? Whoa, dude, I didn't know that the club was this hot on Thursday nights. I would have been, I'm coming. Right. And these were not, I would say that most of us get the image of swingers, that it's like grandma and grandpa down in Florida at the nude beach, right? With their wrinkly balls and their, and their saggy butts, just kind of walking. By the way, I'm getting there too, so I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, right? It is what it is. We're all getting old, and gravity's taking hold. So, but that's kind of the impression that we get is like swingers are like older, creepy people. And no shit, these people are very attractive.
Okay.
Like a lot of them are very attractive, like big muscular guys, beautiful women. Some of them have boob jobs, and they're taking care of themselves. And I'm like, whatever the guy's name, can't remember his name. Wish I could. John. Holy shit, what's going on here? It's a swingers party, brother. What do you think? And I'm like, oh my God. He's like, dude, they paid me like $10,000 to do this. And I'm like, whoa, wow, this is crazy. He's like, yeah, each of these people pay like $250 to get in the door. And I'm like, holy shit. And he's like, yeah, but we're not supposed to let single guys in alone. So, stick, you can do your thing.
It's supposed to be couples.
Well, I guess in the swingers community that it's okay for a woman to come alone, but it's not okay for a guy to come alone.
Got it.
Just to kind of keep the creepers and peepers out of,
Yeah,
I
that
guess
makes sense.
after years of experience, the swingers know that you don't need the single guys. This is not a looky-loo party, right?
Right.
But that's exactly what I now am. So I go up to the bar. I know the bartender, and he's like, "What do you think, man?" And I'm like, "Holy shit, bro, this is crazy."
Wow.
And he's like, "You think this is crazy? You should check out the back rooms."
Ooh, the back room.
And I'm like, "Oh, I think I'm supposed to stay close, right? I'm not supposed to be creeping around." He's like, "Whatever, dude, just go back there, check it out." He goes, "But be careful, man, be careful." And I'm like, "Be careful. What's gonna happen?" I'm gonna walk in the room and I'm just gonna get a dick in my mouth. Like, I don't know. Be careful.
Right.
Like a flying vagina. Oh my God. So no
Did
shit.
you go?
I went back. Of course I did. This may be my one and only opportunity to ever be at a swingers party because it's not my thing.
Yeah.
And I just happened here. Some guy brought me here and I'm like, okay, while I'm here, well in room.
Might as well
at least look and see
Research.
what's going on. I go back to the room. It's on the left and it's another, let's call it 50 by 50 room that in the club is kind of treated like a green room or a VIP room, right? And it's got the music pumping through. It's got a small DJ booth. And then there are a bunch of couches and stuff. Well, I turn the corner and there are two black lights that are on. There's a guy that's playing music, and there's a small little, tiny little, like, purple light, right? It's very dark in there. And I can't really see, like, my eyes are adjusting. I can't really see what's going on. So I take another step or two forward, and there are, like, 5 mattresses that are on the floor, and there are multiple people just going at it. I was like,
wow.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And, like, but I quickly get caught by someone, right? Like some dude turns around, like, mid coitus. He's like, hey, Mrs. Culvert. And then he's like looking at me, staring at me. And then he goes like this. He goes, come on. He waves me in.
He motioned you over.
Your turn.
Your turn.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Today. I was like, whoa, I just got called in. I'm in the big leagues now. I felt like a tag team wrestling match. Like, ooh, get in here. You want some of this? You want some of this? Get in here. And I was like, I didn't know what to do. So I looked for a half a minute more. I kind of stood there.
Did you contemplate it at all?
No, not for 1 second. Not for 1 fucking second did I. And to be fair, there were like bowls of condoms around the room, and there were condom wrappers that were on the floor. So so people were being safe, right? I mean,
That's good.
Listen, just because they're swingers doesn't mean they're idiots, right? Or weird or creepy. They're just doing their own thing, right? And so for like half a minute more, I'm just kind of looking, and he's now turned back around, and then he turns around again, and he's like, he kind of points to me, and he's like, come on this way, right? And then the girl turns around, and she's like, like this, and I'm like, oh no, so they must be communicating now, right? The music's on loud. They're probably like, There's some creep behind us. You wanna freak him out? Wave him in. See what he does.
That would be really funny.
Paging Brian Green. Brian Green to the sex room, please. Brian Green, we need you ready in 5 minutes to perform. Can you please fluff yourself and meet us back in the sex room? Thank you.
I got called out, and then I was out of there. Then I was like, oh my God, then I was out of there. Yeah, and then I walked to the next room. But I didn't. Now I'm kind of scared.
Right.
I'm like
Be careful. That's what the guy
That's what he meant. Yeah, be careful. They're going to call you in, dude. So I go to the next room, and there's a couple of sex swings that are hanging there, and there was a couple, and then there was a couple, and then there was like a lady standing on the side, like in some state of undress. I don't remember a lot about that second room because I kind of like turned in and then turned right back out and went back to the bar, and I was like, holy shit, bro. And he's like, dude, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, it's hot in here tonight. And I was like, yeah, it is. And he's
Take
like,
off all your clothes.
he goes, are you into any of this? And I'm like, no, not really. Meanwhile, I'm standing right next to some lady who's getting head from the dude, like kneeling down in the bar chair. Oh my God. Hey man, how are things at the house? Yeah, good. I'm great. Pat the guy on the head. It's like, good job, buddy. Good job. The girl turns to me and I'm like, hey, my name's Brian. Nice to meet you.
Right.
Hey, I'm Patty. Nice to meet you. Do you want to hold one of my boobs for a second?
No, I gotta go. I'm good. Coronavirus.
Wow.
So then I just left. I left and I went back and I told the partner that I had that I was like, hey man, there's some shit going down in that club. And he goes, and the guy that I was doing this with was an older gentleman, kind of a creepy guy himself. I'd never known him to have a girlfriend. He always had very long, greasy hair and a tie-dyed shirt on. And he's kind of known as he didn't have the best reputation in the group, not because he ever did anything, right? Just because he would always like ogle people and he would make kind of weird comments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, holy shit, man, did you see that? Did you know what's going on next door? Oh yeah, I got invited last week. And I was like, oh, and he goes, but I couldn't find anybody to come with me. Oh, okay. And so I didn't even tell him that this guy could give you a tour.
Right.
I just figured if this guy wanted to give him a tour, he would have given him a tour. I think he felt like I was probably cool enough to stay out of the way. So listen, here's the bottom line feeling about swinging. I don't mind it. I'm not into it, but I don't mind it.
Exactly. Me too.
I always hear these stories about these neighborhoods here in Atlanta, the swingers neighborhoods. Do you ever hear about these?
No.
There's a big.
It's actual neighborhood.
Yeah, it's a huge neighborhood that's up north. Here,
everything's going down up north.
I know all the people that move out to the suburbs. They have their own little cuckolding, community, like a cuckolding country club.
Yes.
Welcome to the Cuckolding Country Club. Can I hold your cuck? So, would you like a closet to watch your wife get screwed in? Sir, can I interest you in a glory hole? No, thanks. I'm good for right now. So, there's a neighborhood that some friends of a friend live in, and they moved up there. These houses are really nice. They're $500,000, $700,000 houses. It's on a golf course. It's a super nice, but it's huge neighborhood. Friends of a friend moved in there, and when they did, they learned that there were certain cues that you were into swinging, that you'd be open to the idea. Okay. And they had key parties and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, where you leave your keys in the bowl.
You leave your keys in the bowl, and then that means you're not going home tonight, or I don't know. You pick up somebody else's key and you take their car for a drive. I'm not even sure how it works. Right?
You take their car.
You take their car for a spin, and then you fuck them later. Listen, I'm gonna drive your Jag around the street, and I'm gonna come back and tag your wife. Is that okay? Cool, man. Cool. Outside the neighborhood is a Publix supermarket.
Okay.
Very large grocery store chain that's here in the southeast of America. And supposedly how it goes is you put a canister of vanilla ice cream, a container of vanilla ice cream in the top of your basket on the right-hand side if you are in for swinging or up for a screw.
Really?
Yes. And then that's how people know when you're walking around the grocery store that you're up for action, right?
At the grocery store?
I guess.
Like, what do you...
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. Like, you can't just buy ice cream? Yeah, what if I just want ice cream?
I know.
What about the poor fucker who just wants ice cream?
Also, what happens after that?
Don't know.
You see the ice cream, then what?
I don't. I guess you get approached, and then they're like, you knock
Here's
carts.
My number.
Yeah,
you knock carts.
You knock carts, and you're like, hey, I live over at 6621, and you're like, hey, I'm over at 6622.
Maybe you get like cards made up specifically specifically
Yeah.
to give away
That's
that
right.
has your address, your fake name.
But-
and
But so then the other one is that you put a pink flamingo. Oh no, not a pink flamingo, a star. Like you put a star, some kind of star symbol out in front of your house. And that also indicates that you're up for it.
Huh.
So these two people that ended
I'm
up moving
making
into this
notes
neighborhood.
right now.
Yeah, me too.
Vanilla ice cream star on the house.
I can't wait for the next
Don't
house
do
Astrid
it.
and I live in. No
think you
stars,
should just
no ice
try
cream.
it.
I think I should.
You should.
I
mean,
always had the thought that this
you
would be
should
a great
just- yeah,
this would be a
test.
great Saturday afternoon. Is just to go to the Publix and just
Yeah.
walk around
Do
with
it.
an ice cream in my
Try
car.
it.
Maybe we should.
think we
Maybe
should.
this is the
I'll
next
try it
great
too.
prank for commercial break. Let's do it together. We'll divide and conquer and see what happens
Let's go
next.
to the grocery
I know.
store together and put the
And put the
vanilla
ice cream in it, yeah. And we'll have maybe we should like wear a little
Yes.
secret like my camera, and we'll figure out. So
Yes.
so the couple that lives up there now explains that this is true. That some people in the neighborhood explain that this is true. This is how it goes. This is This is the very not secret code of the swingers community here.
Okay.
Is that you do these things if you want to express to people that you're interested and you don't know them. I will tell you what, they have a pool the size of fucking Six Flags there. I mean, it's just an incredibly large pool complex that they have for their community. And I went there once. I was invited by another friend to go there. And it was quite the scene. I mean, there were a lot of like in their 30s, 40s married people that were out there drinking their Bud Lights and everything.
Yeah.
Everyone was touching everyone else. There was a lot of touching going on.
Okay.
And it seemed like everyone was very friendly with each other. So
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. There's like this
Like,
whole
so, but you don't
subculture.
know it before you move into the neighborhood.
The real estate agent does not tell you that. It is not on the paperwork. I hereby declare the mortgage of this deed in lieu
I
of
mean, it
blah,
could
blah,
be
blah.
a selling point, sounds like, for
Hey,
some people.
Listen, I think for a lot of people it's a selling point, quite frankly. I mean,
Here's your Publix.
yeah, this is the Publix where you find extra dick.
You go shopping
If you ever need
for
a
more than groceries.
If you ever need yeah. If you ever need to go to Pound Town, it's right out here at the Publix.
It's right there.
Right?
It's so convenient.
You want to hit the pool, you just get a tattoo of a pink flamingo on your back. Ah. And I always wonder, like, the logistics of swinging. When you get involved in a swinging relationship, and I guess there's different kinds, right?
Yeah,
But
I
is it
think so.
that you go off and have sex separately? Or is it that you go and you have sex together?
I don't know. I think that's, you can do both.
I just always be weird. I think I'd be weirded out by that. I
yeah,
don't
I mean,
know.
and I've heard too of like the one person does something with somebody else
while the other person
on their
watches.
own. No, or
Oh.
even just on their own.
Yeah.
And I think it works all kinds of
I've
different
had
ways.
friends who have done that. It did
Yeah.
not work out because the one rule was
Whoa.
you always come home at night, right?
Yeah.
And then the second rule was you have to communicate openly
Very
Yeah.
yeah, you have to be very
about where
open.
you're going, what you're doing, and who you're with.
Yeah,
And
I can
then,
imagine.
but with the hopes that keeps you from
delicate.
like falling in love with someone else, right?
Yeah.
And I guess it was another rule that you can't go out with someone more than 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
Because then you could get into a relationship with them, and that's not what they want. They just wanted to go out and have the freedom to have sex with people, right?
Okay.
It's my understanding of what
Yeah.
happened. And apparently within, the first 3 months that this happened, someone was already falling in love with someone
Right.
else and had to like call
I mean,
it,
it's an
throw in the
intimate
white
thing.
towel.
It's an intimate thing.
Sex is an intimate thing. Yes.
God,
Yes, it is.
I can imagine.
I just find it so interesting, all the picadillos of people's sexual
yeah, well,
prowesses.
I've already said you never know what people are doing behind closed doors.
Would not believe what I'm doing
Yeah.
behind closed doors.
You're getting text messages.
I do
of people in
missionary.
saunas.
I do missionary 2 different ways.
No vanilla ice cream for
No,
you.
no, sir. I'm as exciting as it comes. I have a friend who was telling me the other day that he had sex with a woman that was obviously very kind of tight, not like tight in the vaginal sense, but tight, like just a tight human being, right? Kind of wound up, uptight.
Uptight, yeah.
Tight.
Uptight.
And he has sex with this woman, and then they have sex a couple of times, and it's just missionary style.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, "Hey, why don't we get into something else?
Right.
Let me
Switch it up.
Let me turn you around, and we'll figure out.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we can try this. Right? He's trying to make
Yeah.
suggestions mid coitus, and she's like, "Only only creeps would suggest that.
Oh.
Like mid-coitus. And he was like, whoa, really? And she's like, that's the kind of thing an asshole does. And I was like, oh. Jesus Jones.
Well, that ruined
I
the
have
mood.
been an asshole for most of my life. I have been a real douchebag. I've been a 33 penis. It was kind of weird. And so.
Guess that didn't work out.
No, I guess she's not a swinger. I guess she's
guess
not into the swinger. You're going to find no pink flamingo on her front door.
Her star.
It's just everyone is into different things. And
Yeah, and it's cool.
I say as long as you're not hurting anybody.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. But then you could really take it pretty far with the
Consenting adults.
consenting
go for
adults.
it. Yeah. Go for it.
I'm just endlessly fascinated by this
Yeah, it
swinger
is
thing. Ever since I got this picture, now it's gotten me fascinated. Not in fascinated like I'm curious as like I want to get involved in it.
Yeah.
But fascinated in a sense of like how does the minutia of all of this work?
Right.
When you come home at night after you've had sex
Yeah.
with someone else, do you shower first? Do you get a hello at the front door? Do you
Welcome
kiss?
home.
Yeah. Well, hey, honey.
Welcome.
How's that pussy? Is that good to get some good pussy? Or, hey,
How
honey.
was your day?
How's that dick?
How was your night?
How's that cock? How's your night? I got a nice cock. Like, I don't know how
Yeah.
but I guess you have to communicate so openly about this if you're really going to try and make it work.
Yeah.
That no stone would be left unturned. Like, yeah, I had a great time and, he gave it to me hard and, one or two or, hey, gave it to me. Hey, da-da-da-da-da-da.
I don't know how it works.
Listen, it's not going to be for me. That's for sure. I'll never find out. That's just all I know.
Are you sure you're not going to go across the country to meet up?
No. No. Not going to happen.
Okay.
No. Astrid wouldn't let it happen. I wouldn't let it happen. But God bless him. I love him
Yes.
very much. He's a dear friend. And,
Whatever works.
Yeah. He made a
It's
mistake.
working for them. They looked happy.
They do look happy. Maybe there's something to this. Maybe I should reconsider.
Right. Maybe give Astrid a test text.
Test. Oh, yeah. A test text. I'm going to give her a fake text. Thanks for that fuck last night.
Thank you.
See you again at Publix. I want to thank Zac Efron and his people for calling in, trying to work out an appearance for him on the show. Unfortunately, we're busy this week, but maybe next week we'll work it in. Yep. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate that. TCBpodcast.com is where you go to find all the show notes, read more about Chrissy and I, and find our entire media library, both audio and video. We hope you go there. It's brand new. We enjoy it very much, and we hope that you do too. At The Commercial Break on Instagram. You can follow us there for content you can't find anywhere else, and you can DM us there if you need an invite to Clubhouse at TCB Chrissy at Bryan Green on Clubhouse, and then you can follow the Commercial Break Club to get access to our live shows starting next week. As this airs, it'll start next week, so you want to be a part of that, and we'll let you know on Instagram when those recordings are happening. 470-584-8449 is where you can text us or leave us a message. Standard text messaging rates do apply. And so what else do I have to say about swingers? That's it. Mm-hmm. Good for you.
Good for you.
I enjoy thinking about all the possibilities.
It makes me anxious.
Yeah.
But
Does it?
Yeah.
It makes you nervous? Like, I don't think Jeff is going to be a
Watch
swinger.
out.
Yeah, I don't think Jeff is going to decide. Watch out.
Be careful.
Hey, listen, I heard that episode, and you know what I'm thinking? I think we should try this.
Yeah.
Give it a try. Let's go to the boogie. It's the sweaty, sweaty boogie.
Yes.
Until next time. Bye.
The Commercial Break. New episodes on Tuesdays and now Fridays. New YouTube clips drop daily at youtube.com/The Commercial Break. Visit tcbpodcast.com for access to our entire media library. Follow us at The Commercial Break on Instagram and join the Commercial Break Club on Clubhouse to join in live recordings. Each episode is written and produced by Bryan Green, co-hosted by Chrissy Hoadley, with additional content provided by Tina Cano.